Hello. So for this PowerPoint, we're just going to do a quick overview of regional and state dental exam examinations, licensure information. This is straight from the ADHA, and it's just kind of an overview. I know you guys know a lot of this because we've all gone through most of this, but it's good to kind of refresh ourselves as we're going to start talking about the different options and the different things that you can do with your bachelor's degree. So first, just a nice refresher, that licensure, why do we do this? Why do we go through all of this angst and hard work? And that is to protect the public from people who are not qualified, that go out there and just, practice something that we've taken a long time to master. We've taken a long time to go through. All of that information that you learned, your degree, all of those 2 years of hard work means something, and it means that you're, good enough to administer this kind of health care to the public. But it also, so it protects the public, but it also protects you, and it validates what you've all gone through. So just initially how that looks, in case you forgot, the first thing you have to do is graduate from an accredited dental hygiene program, and we're going to go over what that accreditation actually looks like from the Commission on Dental Accreditation, what schools have to go through to prove that they're providing a good education and producing good clinicians. Step 2, you have to successfully complete the National Board examination. This is your written examination. And then the next step is to complete your regional testing examination. And this is the more practical examination. And then finally, you have to apply and fulfill the requirements for each varied state. So just another kind of what I was saying before, that these exams are administered to evaluate your competency. Make sure that you are good enough at your skills, that the public is protected, and that you're going to provide them with good care. It's a reliable third-party assessment of your clinical skills. And so it takes that kind of assessment purely out of the school. So the school has assessed you and says you're good enough to graduate, and now there will be a third party that also validates that and says you are good enough to do this. All exams consist of a skill-specific patient treatment in a clinical setting. Of course, there's some written and electronic-based components there. These regional tests do vary from each one region to the next. And that literally this document, this PowerPoint that we're going through is just kind of assisting. It's a general overview. If you want more information on this, feel free to go to the ADHA's website and put in the topic of this one, and you'll get a little bit more information if you are interested in that. Basically, the 5 main examination boards, you have your Council of Interstate Testing Agencies, credits, your Central Regional Dental Testing Service, Northeast Regional Board of Dental Examiners, your NERB, Southern Regional Testing Agency, and then your Western Regional Examining Board. So if you break these down, these are the states that generally take these different regional ones. So if you notice, Colorado is in all of them. So Colorado does have reciprocity with all of these regional ones. So if you take one of these, you can practice here in Colorado after you go through the state steps, but you won't have to take another regional exam. If you look, credits and NERB are probably the 2 most comprehensive of them. NERB is kind of up there as, and you'll see that later on when we go, that NERB is kind of the Commission on Dental Competency Assessments. But those are the 2 that take most of them. So there is a variance between fees, reexamination fees, and how that kind of looks. So this is just a little slide to kind of break that down for you. They generally range close to $1,000 for the full exam. Sometimes it breaks down to a little bit more. Here at NERB, you have to pay extra for the local examination computer as well as nitrous. And then, of course, reexamination fees can vary as well. Local anesthetic is another thing that varies from one regional test to another test. So if you kind of go through these, it's a little bit different. CITA here does not allow the clinician to administer local hearing credits. You can do it as permitted by each state. but you have to have your local anesthesia training. Some can use that subgingival anesthetic gel, some cannot. Like I said, it all varies. So currently, the Commission on Dental Competency Assessments, which is NERB, is the only agency that administers the American Dental Hygiene License Examination. So this is approved by the American Board of Dental Examiners. It's a private, non-for-profit consortium of state and regional dental boards throughout the United States and its territory. So right now, NERB is the only agency that does that, so they do kind of stand out in that way. And then licensure by reciprocity. So if you move to a different state, you may be able to obtain a license to practice dental hygiene using your existing credentials and not have to take another regional board. So if you go back to that other list and you see which states, which regional test is valid in each state, you can see which one you've taken and which states accept yours, and then you won't have to take another regional board. If they don't accept it, then you would have to take another regional board in order to practice dental hygiene in that state. When you're talking about that in the state, if you're ever moving, look for words like licensure by credentials, licensure by endorsement, or licensure by reciprocity. So here in Colorado, individuals who apply for licensure via their credentials, you have to have your sealed transcripts from your school, license verification from the state that you're moving from, evidence that you're up to snuff, no disciplinary action. They're going to want your scores for both your national and regional state exam. They will do a background check, and then your current CPR documentation. As someone who has moved from one state into Colorado, this is a very easy process. Colorado, it was a delight. It's not very hard to do. So you would hope it's like that in other states. I've heard some state, it all depends on the state that you're moving to, but well worth it, of course. So that is it for this PowerPoint. If you have any other questions, feel free to go to the ADHA's website and investigate further.